Hi there, Puppy Lucy and I want to welcome you back to our channel. We posted a video back on March 6th of 2020 showing how to apply a frost cover in your garden. Now, in today's video, we're going to improve on our frost cover by adding a movable frame. The frame will make it easier for us to apply a frost cover on top of the weed barrier fabric we use in our garden. If you're not a subscriber to our channel, we would sincerely appreciate your support by subscribing to our channel and letting all of your gardening friends know about our channel. All right now guys, let's get on to our video. Pam's here helping. We're going to build some frames to go on our ground cover, and rather than having to measure each one. Now, you might say, well, what are the dots for? She's measuring where we're going to drill holes in these 2x4s. Once that hole is drilled, it's going to be the same size as the wire that supports our frost cover. And since we're going to put this on some weed fabric, we don't want lots of holes punched in it, because this will actually be the second year we've used this leaf cover, and from having watched other YouTubers like Living Traditions Homestead, we know that this stuff should last for several more years to come. So rather than just poke holes in it, which will cause weeds to come up, we're marking where we want these holes drilled so that we can drill it. What we'll do when that hole's in there, we want it so that we can, what we want to do is when we get that hole drilled, we want to be able to put that wire in one board, and we want to put that one on the other side. And of course we're going to put a 2x4. These will be pulled apart. Some of them are going to need to be about 36 inches and some of them are going to need to be about 24 inches apart. Different plants are going to require different supports. So we're going to go ahead and get working on that, and we'll be right back with you guys. Okay, Pam's going to demonstrate how this is going to work with one of the wires that we'll be using.
Whoops.
Yeah, it gets stout. And there it is. Did that go on down in there? Yes.
Yep, it did.
All right, so if you can see, that's a pretty high loop. And we could have 3 rows of lettuce, maybe 4, I think probably 3, about 6 inches apart, and have them covered. Now, as I said, you're going to see, we're going to put our supports on it. Some support.
And he unplugged it.
I don't have a multi-extension cord. It's safety. Now, when I put the screws into here to screw it into this wood, and I want to use screws, because screws should hold it a little tighter to keep it from pulling apart. We'll be able to put this little jewel together. You don't have to measure that down there. I can do it right here. Sometimes our brain just doesn't work the way it should. Nor does our fingers.
So see, I'm getting to film him so I can laugh at him. Robert's now putting the ends on our frost covers.
So I'm going into a knot hole. You want to know if we're filming when I'm going to hit a knot. I may take and put a hammer to that one. What do you think, Lucy? See, Lucy, you wouldn't live in a doghouse if we were to make you one? You think you're a person? Does Lucy think she's a person?
Now, Robert, do you have the hose the one up and down? No, I see it now. I thought you had one upside down.
Pam's going to test and make sure before we get that other end in that this is going to work. That's perfect.
Perfect fit.
All right, there is where we went into that knot. And the screw ended up breaking off. Of course, I walloped it a couple of times with a hammer, but I'll put another one in there a little bit up above that. All right, now Pam's gonna try her hand at putting the boards on the other end. And I'll have to admit, it's off a little bit, but I put the screws in to start with. That wasn't Pam. I've got to go get us 5 more wires, and I store my wires in the garden, so I'm not taking up space in the garage. They don't have to stay dry. I'll be right back with them. Okay, we've got our frame put together. If needed, we'll put some cross pieces here to tighten that up so it won't be so likely to flex on us. That is some old pieces of a patio umbrella that I threw the umbrella away, and I thought, those metal pieces look neat. I am going to have to put some banding around it right here, but that jute there is just temporary. But we put that all along the top, and we've got it here at the bottom. We did notice that the piece of wire that we were measuring with, the reason it was in the garage is it was a piece that was cut short, probably the end of a row. So let me measure it and tell you how tall it is. All right, that's 37 inches.
And I did let him do it this time, so it's in the center.
That's 38, and that's because each wire was probably cut a little bit different. And that's 39. This end is 37 and a half. We can grow some monstrous plants in that. All right, now I'm going to wrap it up and let you see what it looks like. We'll take it down to the garden, and as I said, I'm sure we're going to want to put some braces in it because I see that it's kind of wanting to tilt in from the pressure, but that's not a problem.
Okay, this will be what it'll look like.
What we'll do when we get it in the garden is we'll take this excess and push it up under. That way it will hopefully not blow out. The way it was, we were having to carry rocks down there. The weight of this thing alone should hold it down. This is insect netting, which will be great. This spring we can use it to hold out the insects, but we can put a frost cover on it. Now, one thing that we've built it that I'm pretty well deciding I want to do, this is frost cover. We can take those little brackets that hold PVC pipe and come out here and come down through there with about 5 pieces of PVC 8 foot long and go across that. We can put a double layer of some sort on there just in the real cold weather. We don't have to keep it on there all the time, but in the real cold weather we can do. Like if we have something like we had on November 19th of 2019, the Arctic blast, we can run down there and throw another frost cover across it. So you have 2 layers of protection in that case. I know from the snow, having been on it before, I am going to need a wood beam coming up from here to here, maybe with a brace of some sort, and one down on the other end. But I'm happy with it. It's a great start. We're going to build exactly one of these for Pam to have at her house. But now, are you going to raise a winter garden?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably not as much as you do, but I do want to raise some so I can have some fresh greens.
Okay. Well, we'll get it ready because this will keep out the insects. I could wait a while before I could use this for a while before I actually have to put the frost cover on when it starts getting colder. I just like it. It's a great way, and just like it's laying on this asphalt, there's no way we could have poked those wires down in that asphalt. And we don't want to poke wires in our weed fabric. So this should sit right on there and let us put everything right on top of it. I give it a thumbs up. I think it's going to work. It was really, these are pieces we already had. I bought a few 2x4s. This has taken 2 2x4s, and we've got some little pieces to do bracing. And like I said, I know I'm going to use another 2x4, and I'll probably put a beam up here and tie it into the sides with an angle. And I may use this same framing because it's just aluminum that is tied on there. I may pull it out, brace that center, and use that, and it'll be perfect. It'll absolutely be perfect.